I'm going to switch gears here to Anthony Davis real quick. Matt Moreno coming up at 8:30, and we're going to talk some MLB free agency. We're going to talk some Dodgers as well. I got some questions for him about the Padres. So we're going to do a little bit of everything in regards to Major League Baseball. Anthony Davis. I got some numbers for you guys on Anthony Davis. Okay. Should I share my screen here? Let's share it together. We can look at it together, and we can all sing Kumbaya together as we look at Anthony Davis's stats. All right, here's AD. Look at this stretch of games for Anthony Davis. Last night against Miami, he had 8 points. Okay. By the way, 7 rebounds too. Anthony Davis only pulling 7 rebounds. Night before against Minnesota, he had 12 points. Anthony Davis in his last 2 games has a total of 20 points. Against the Utah Jazz, phenomenal. He was great. 33-11. That's the Anthony Davis that we've seen for most of the season, other than these last couple of weeks. Let's keep going down the list. Here's a 15-point game, a 19-point game, a 25-point game, and a 14-point game. Okay? So if I told you that Anthony Davis was going to go through a stretch after he started the season the way he did, a 14-point game, a 19-point game, a 15-point game, a 12-point game, an 8-point game, if I told you that Gabe Vincent had more points than Anthony Davis yesterday, if I told you that Max Christie had more points than Anthony Davis yesterday, what would what would your reaction be? You'd be like, Al, what the hell are you talking about? I don't know if you guys heard Anthony Davis in his presser yesterday, but his demeanor and his body language is what worries me most about Anthony Davis. AD is going to be honest. AD is a good dude. AD, you could tell, cares. I don't question any of that from Anthony Davis. But if you look at his body language, that's a man that looked broken yesterday. Maybe there's an injury we don't know about. I have no idea. Maybe he's frustrated that he's not getting the ball enough. Maybe he's he's disagreeing with what the strategy is for the Lakers. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know this. I know 2 weeks ago, I was on here on this channel making a case that Anthony Davis should be one of the candidates, top 3 players for MVP. If you go take that clip today, or if you go take that clip from 2 weeks ago and play it today, I look like an idiot. I look like a complete fool. Anthony Davis over this last 2-week stretch, and I think there's a lot of parallel here. When Anthony Davis plays well, Lakers got a chance to win. When Anthony Davis has a game where he has 8 points or 12 points, does somebody want to tell me how the Lakers are going to win that game? Lakers had 80 points against Minnesota and 93 in this last game against the Miami Heat. How the hell are the Lakers? Let's not even talk about winning a game. How about we just talk about being in a game? That ain't happening if Anthony Davis is supposed to be. Let me tell you, and really, I'll put Bron in this conversation as well. What's supposed to happen every single night is Anthony Davis and LeBron, you're supposed to just assume that box score for Anthony Davis is going to say 30, 12, 2 blocks, and 3 assists. You're just assuming that. And then for LeBron, you're going to assume it says 24, 7, and 7. And then we're supposed to bitch and complain about everybody else. If Anthony Davis and LeBron James are not pulling their weight together in the same game, how are the Lakers going to compete with OKC, with Phoenix, with Denver, with Dallas? Go down the list of all these other teams in the Western Conference. We talk about how talented the West is, how good the West is. How are they supposed to compete against any of these teams? They're not. And if you look at these last couple of weeks, they're not competing. These are all playoff teams that the Lakers. Orlando's a playoff team. Miami will be a playoff team, I'm assuming. I know they're 10-10, but the East is the East. Phoenix is a playoff team. Denver's a playoff team. Minnesota's a playoff team. They've lost 5 games against playoff opponents. And Anthony Davis over this 7-game stretch, I don't know what's going on with Anthony Davis. And maybe I shouldn't have got too excited in the beginning of the season and thought, hey, Anthony Davis is now, it's his team. He's clearly grabbed the keys from the organization and say, everybody ride me. JJ Redick is 100% basically saying everything runs through Anthony Davis. And here we are on December 5th and already questioning, can you depend on Anthony Davis night in and night out? What I just don't understand, there's such a steep drop-off. And for the whole team, there's a steep drop-off. You went from Everything looked like it was going as planned. Listen, are they missing Austin Reeves? Sure. Would it be nice to have Jared Vanderbilt back? Absolutely. There are a lot of teams out there that are not 100%. And I'm not saying that you had to go into Miami and you had to win by 20. But what I'm saying is, can you not lose by 41? Can you not lose by 20? Can you not lose by 10? Can these games at least be competitive? Can you at least have your coach and one of the greatest players to ever play the game in LeBron? Can you at least have those two not saying they're questioning the professionalism and the effort? That's all. That's all I'm asking for. And I think on the Anthony Davis front, and I think we all know this, if Anthony Davis is not elite, top 5, top 7 player in the NBA, if he's not that, how are you going to hang with everybody else in the Western Conference? I don't think I have a solution for it. Let me get to some of your questions here or some of your thoughts before we actually kind of switch gears here, and we're going to get into some MLB baseball. Tired of wishy-washy Anthony Davis. AD has never been good at double teams. The league knows. Can I tell you something? You know, I've seen this, and I've heard some of the different broadcasts are talking about how teams are really, really doing a good job of double teaming him and kind of taking him out of the game. Can I just throw some names at you guys, and you guys tell me if these players adjusted? Do you think Shaq was ever thrown a double team? Do you think LeBron ever got double teams? You think Giannis today is getting any double teams? You think Joel Embiid doesn't have 2 players guard him? You think Nikola Jokic doesn't have an entire defense built around Nikola Jokic? The excuse of, where they're throwing a double team at him. I don't know what you guys want me to do with that. I mean, if Anthony Davis either can't demand the ball because he's getting double teamed or figure out how to play through a double team, or come up with solutions, and maybe that's on JJ Redick or maybe that's on LeBron, whoever you guys want to throw it at. But guys, the greats of the NBA all get double teamed. Even guys that are not that good get double teamed. There are players out there that go on some type of a hot streak and they've hit 4 or 5 jumpers in a row, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, let's have one defender leaning on him on top of the defender that's already playing him. Anthony Davis has seen double teams in his career. This is not the first time. I really don't want to use that as an excuse. Let me grab one quick super here. Let me actually find this here. All right, here's what we got. By the way, thank you for the super. It's all James and the head of Lakers caused the mess. AD didn't get the ball. James wanted to get his stat to deflect blame. Team quit on JJ. You could put on whatever you want, and I know I got a few more supers here, so I'm going to get back to some of these supers in a little bit before the show ends. We'll kind of finish things off talking Lakers basketball, but you go ahead and point the finger wherever you want, and you could say that if you're Anthony Davis, you don't need somebody to get you involved. If you're one of the top players in the NBA, you think Luka is waiting for Jason Kidd to call him the ball? Do you think Giannis is waiting to get involved because somebody gave him the permission to get involved? I don't think it works like that. I don't think the greats in the game do that.